Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Tom42 here, or Chessman on Lost Ark. Today I wanted to do a video talking about my roster, the latest updates with my roster, and what I plan to do going forward with it. Just another, yearly or, every few months roster update video. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Remember, if you guys like Lost Ark content on my channel, usually I post dungeon runs and talk about a variety of topics in Lost Ark. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on my platforms, all that good stuff. So let's just dive right in. So, given the space of the game right now and or the current state of the game, I think a lot of people are either starting to reconsider if they want to continue playing, depending on if certain changes go through. There's a whole lot of talk about the gem system and stuff like that. For me, I think it doesn't affect me too much because I play 6 different characters. Um, and then, well, the only multi-class character that I play is my Paladin. Um, my Paladin, I have an alt Paladin at 1660, but my top 6 is really, my Paladin, my Bard, a War Dancer, my Slayer, an Artist, a Paladin, and I have a 1660 Arrow, which I don't really play anymore just because it's hard to get lobbies, especially when you're DPS. Um, but I think going forward, I'm starting to feel like this game we've reached a bit of a dull period right now. So really, I've only been completing raids on kind of my top 3 or 4 characters. So that includes my Paladin, my Bard, and my Slayer. My War Dancer is still pretty good. It always gets accepted to whatever lobbies I apply into because it's pretty strong. But then my other 2 characters for I guess my top 6, I just don't really run stuff unless people really want to play with me. So um, there's that. I'm only really caring about my 21690 characters and my 1700 main. So that's where I'm at right now. But yeah, let's dive in. And that's kind of my current roster. I don't think I've made any changes to the characters. I still have like a Glavier, a Soul Eater, and was it Alt Pally, and I think that might be it actually. So we'll see what kind of my horizontal content's looking like. The day I'm recording this is actually the day reset day. Um, and they've come out with new music box memories and all that stuff. So I haven't really done any of that just because I don't spend more time in the game than I really need to anymore. So let's look at what's going on with my horizontal first, just to get some bearings, because I've collected some more Makoko seeds here and there, but I haven't really done any more than that. So island souls should still be the same, about 96. I have 96 souls. Max giant hearts, max omnium stars, max masterpieces. They always keep on adding new music box and memories. Haven't even touched on those yet. Makoko seeds, add a couple more before the new content comes out, and I think the new content comes out soon. I hope. Is it later this month? I don't really remember. I forget what they said in the roadmap. Still missing 2 Igneas. Still missing the North Kurzan one and the Voldus one. I just haven't done cooking pretty much for them. And then, of course, sea bounties and world tree leaves. I mostly do logging now just to help with Orejas, but I'm still missing, quite a few across like mining and, fishing and foraging. So, yeah. And then we got complete the 1 blood claws chart, but it'll be a while until we get the next one. Yeah. Let's look at my card catalog, because I think cards are starting to get a little bit more important. Now a lot of people in Brels are starting to get their new card sets for maximizing DPS and stuff like that in the raid. So let's just take a look at that. If we just look across my bonuses, you guys can skim across my bonuses. Or a little over 6% for human, 6.2 for demon, 5.07 for matter, 6.11 for undead, 4.6 for plants, 6.03 for insects, a little over 5 for elementals, 6.09 for beast, 4.9 for machine, and archdemon for 1.7. It's not bad. But yeah, if you're like a day 1 player, I think that's pretty expected now. And I'm right now working towards some of the major card sets. Of course, we've got Lost Windcliff for support. I've got LOS, of course, and then the new one. I think I used to use you have a friend or whatever it was called for Brel, but then I think some people have said that you could just use the Raging Thunderbolt protection card set once you kind of hit 24. So I hit 24 set for here, and it'll be a slow grind to get the rest of my BMOs. Azena's in the new way card, so I get 30. Um, as for I think the DPS players use Swift Thunderbolt's Breath. I only have 22 for that, so but it doesn't concern me that much just because I'm not a DPS main. I'd rather get the support cards first, just because it's my main. But yeah, I have been using a lot of card XP recently, and we're filling out a lot of the new card sets out here, especially a bunch of the new cards they placed in. So more horizontal content to grind, but not really paying attention too much to it anymore, just because I'm not really spending as much time in the game as I as I used to. I'm only really getting 3 main characters done at this point. Yeah, right now, again, I don't spend money on the game. I don't participate in any of that arm teeing or any of that. So right now, I'm sitting on almost 2.6 million gold, all from raiding or selling accessories or doing all that. Just accumulating, and the reason why I'm not pushing any more characters, like really, ideally, I'd be pushing my main to like 1710 or anything, but the thing is, I don't feel the need to at the moment. And I'm the only reason why I'm hoarding gold right now is because I'm waiting for the next vertical progression system to be announced. And if I'm not gonna grind and finish all my raids every week now, I gotta save some gold for whatever cost, how much that progression system is gonna cost on my main at least. If we take a look at my Ark passive on my main at least, I got to level 26 on Evolution, 27 Enlightenment, and then 25 on Leap. And that's the furthest I've gotten for for my main at least. I think on my alts I've only gotten to like level 21, rank 6, level 21 on Enlightenment, at least on my top 4 alts. Reason being is like I'm looking at 2% percentages to hit this success chance, right? For Evolution now. Here I tried my best for 1%. Like, it's just not worth the gold investment at this point for how much you actually increase in power, especially as a support. So there's no point for me to do that. So yeah, I'm stockpiling gold to see what comes next. I'm not buying gems. I think I've only bought maybe a couple books here and there just to see. So yeah, I've got like one here, one there, sort of thing. But I think eventually, I'm at least on my main, I want a couple books just before the new raid that comes out next month, I believe. So, yeah, stockpiling gold, and that's what I'm doing. I don't think I've ever showed off my guild. Part of the new type guild. Started off with some IRL friends, and then we started meeting people around the game and getting to know some folks. Some of them have joined, like Twinkle Toes, Song. I only play Pants, but then some of them haven't logged in for a while. And then, of course, we play with our friends that are a part of other guilds, but our guild's pretty small. If you are still around, it's always an open guild to join. Pretty chill. We don't really organize things like too seriously. It's kind of just come as you are, and then we just play whenever people are online. So yeah, I'm actually surprised I haven't reached my friends list cap yet, so that's another thing. I think kind of touched on the the collectibles already in terms of the what you call it. It's not the Omnium Stars. The Ignia tokens, but I'm still working on Voldus and North Curzan. So those are sitting at 93 and 87% respectively. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else really to show off. We look at my trade skills. Because I'm logging so much, I've got almost level 70 now. foraging 33, mining 37, hunting 41, fishing 48, and excavating 62. I have a relic logging tool and a relic excavating tool, since those were my two um, life skills that I was using, and the only reason why I did that is just to get Orejas. I refuse to buy any from the market. Roster. Roster 333. And it's not progressing any faster or slower than it used to, I guess. It's just now, it's now just a, you know, there's nothing to flex on. People just don't want to accept, people who are under 100 roster, just because it proves that, higher roster means you put in the time and the effort into the game. And fortunate for me, I don't pug too many things myself, so never have to deal with that. I think the most recent trophy I did earn since my last, roster update video was probably reached, was it level 300? And, where is it? I think I got the no life trophy somewhere. We did get deathless somewhere. I don't even know how these are sorted anymore. Yeah, we got deathless, hard Brel, new Brel, and then we got deathless normal Brel, and this was a while ago, so those two have been there for a while now. And then I got the no life trophy, so 365 days, logging in. And I don't even know how I got that. Felt like I missed at least a day in between one of those, but hey, we got the no life trophy, and it's nothing to flex about. That's probably when I had more time on my hands and actually felt like playing the game. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much all I want to showcase roster-wise. I don't have the Phantom Lord title. I just have the Phantom Breaker, which is like week 2. I mean, we could have gone for Phantom Lord, but we'd rather just play with people who align with our schedules and whatnot, so we didn't push for the first week clear. But nowadays, it's just, if you have Phantom Breaker, Phantom Lord, you should be pretty good to get into parties these days. So regarding the rest of the roster update video, I'll just showcase like my main and where I'm at. I'll probably do a separate video just updating my main class and that sort of stuff. But right now we're just sitting and waiting for the next raid and the new continent to come out. I'm sick of sitting in Elniad. It's a depressing place, and yeah, just kind of waiting for the new content to come out to play. So here, I rock the Eclipse title. 333 roster. I've got max relics on max MP increase, as well as explosive expert. Explosive expert's really good for as a support, especially in hard gate 1. I always pop it just because I could keep on throwing corrosives and darks as the party needs it. And then I've been buying some magic stream books here and there, so we'll see. And then I've got Adrenaline 5, just to help out with my DPS classes. But yeah, otherwise, the relic books are kind of a slow progression considering how expensive they are. There's a whole talk about gems, of course, but these are my gems from my main. I've got pretty much level 8s and 7s on my main. Probably trying to upgrade these to level 8 CDs at some point, but I'm trying to help out my DPS friends to get level 8s on their DPS characters, just so that we're strong and we're as strong as we can possibly get without swiping for the new raid. And of course we're non-swipers, so I mean we gotta do everything by hand. Gotta run those cubes. And of course we already went over cards. So there's that. Yeah, my Paladin's my main, and it's got nothing really really else to showcase. We could talk about I guess we could talk about the advanced honing. Advanced honing, I think I maxed out to plus level 20 for every single thing. Yeah, pretty good. And that's why it's my main, 1700. Probably should try to push it to 1705 before the the new raid comes out. But yeah, we'll hop over to my bar. Maybe I'll just do my top 3 characters for this video, for the purpose of this video, and we'll call it there. So for my bard's the most recent character I actually pushed up to 1690. Reason being is just because if I want to play like continue playing with like our squad, we need kind of more supports, and I was already a support main, so I just ended up pushing up my bard, and I do have my slayer. That's kind of my alt main at 1690. And it's once in a while I like to play DPS and see some big numbers. So my bard, recently got to 1690. Plus 10 advanced honing on every piece except for the chest. I got the level 20. I don't know if I re-outfitted it since last time I did a roster video, but I've been rocking this fit for a bit. Yeah, engravings, gems, a few level 5s less, but mostly level 7s. 7s especially on the damage buff skills. And it's just slowly working on it. I guess supports, there's already such a big shortage for supports that they don't really give a crap. I think level 5 tier 4 gems is like the minimum want for any people who actually know. You probably go on the Uwu site and see everyone's roster and stuff like that, but I'm not that stickler about gatekeeping like that, and I don't really need to gatekeep if I'm playing with my pals. So yeah, I guess I could take a quick pit stop while I'm on my bard. I won't go into like the accessories and stuff, but we could showcase my stronghold. I don't know if anything has really changed in my stronghold. But as I'm just kind of showcasing stuff, as I said, we're just kind of waiting for the new content to come out, and I'm not really hard pushing anything at this point. We're just kind of playing the major raids just to keep on. At minimum, we're finishing all the Braille raids that we can, because every character is going to need to do Karma, which is absolutely disgusting how much it costs. So that's why I'm only doing it on my main and like one or two alts. Then it's like Aegir is just for gold efficiency, and then Echidnas are just easy enough you can find a party, but I'm not sweating any of those raids just because I don't want to spend more time in the game than I have to. And I could just play other stuff like Warzone. But yeah, I don't think I actually toured my stronghold. Most people will just use the teleporter, but this is the entrance of it. Got a couple NPCs here. Of course, I got the Makoko statue there just because I collect the Makokos hella early days. I got a few more NPCs in a little camp at the front. And then we kind of got the main staging area. I've got some sitting areas here. I've got, I don't know. This is like the staging area before we raid. Sometimes, most times I'm making the feast for our squad if it's like, a harder raid or whatnot. So everyone just can kind of hang out here. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to my stronghold. I don't want to check out the trophy room because that'll take more time, but this is what people are mostly interested in, just hanging out in my stronghold here. This is the main staging area. Just in terms of, I guess what I use for the buffs. Let's see. I think I might have to actually go over here. But there's actually a specific layout that I use for crafting certain things. If you go to the Manor NPC here, I use the Divine Protection effect, the Acrobat's Weapon Display Rack effect, and the little snow or mist generator, because it gives you reduced crafting costs as well as great success chance, costs less action energy and gives you a better great success chance as well, and just crafting costs in general lower. So everything's geared towards cheaper array HUs, and that's pretty much what I craft pretty much most of the time here, unless it's like extra flame scrolls for Brelgate one. So make sure you guys are using that layout if you guys are less veteran. Yeah, I don't want to keep the video too long. I'll quickly just tore my Slayer because these are my top 3 characters left. And yeah, never made a Wild Soul, mostly just because wasn't interested in another Ayaya class, especially if it's a DPS. I mean, apparently it's S tier DPS, right? But um, what can you do with the DPS when you can't even find supports in the higher tier raids to play with, especially when people seem to gatekeep by they don't want to see people with event gems. That's a weird kind of thing, especially when they have 6s and 7s, right? I think that should be pretty sufficient enough for most raids. So my Slayer, I've got level 10, and then I have a level 20 weapon. That's why it's 6090. My main DPS character changed the fit, got the Priest of Death chest piece or set. Might as well mix it up a little bit. Got the Adrenaline 5. I've got mostly 8s. I've got 8s on pretty much every DPS skill except for one. And then I've got level 7 CDs because I've been pulling my CDs towards my supports when I can. But I think this is sufficient enough. I'm with the new Slayer buffs, and I'll talk about this probably if I do an individual class video on my Slayer, but the Slayer buffs have really helped. My Slayer really performed pretty well now. So I'm starting to get more like upright and cruel fighters, especially in the like hard Ager and even like hard Brel. I think this week I ran. I actually got like upright fighter, and usually I don't see myself up there, especially when 1690 is like the base minimum eye level to get into Brel Act 2, and I'm playing with like some 1700s and other 1690s that are like soul eaters that probably should be out DPSing me a little bit more. Yeah, here's my Arc passive for my Slayer. I had to tweak it a little bit just with the new changes. I'm using Strike now in Supersonic Breakthrough. I think I was using like a Blunt Thorn build. I have nothing into Evolution. I've got level 21 Karma on Enlightenment, and so far I've gotten level 9 on Leap. So as you can see, I'm not really investing too much into my ults in terms of the Karma. Mostly just funneled it all into my main. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about regarding my roster. I think we just kind of yapped a little bit about where I'm at progression-wise. I already talked in the beginning about my bottom 2 characters that I don't really complete all the raids for on those really anymore unless they really need like the Ager pieces and whatnot. I already bought out the shops pretty much for the Storm of the Abyss event, even the Twinkle Twinkle exchange. I only buy the 2 here. I already got the legendary cards, the selector relic. I don't think anything else is really worth getting from the shop. I do have some extra currency over just from these extra lucky boxes, and then Makoko Boot Camp ends actually in a week, so I'll be able to use up the rest of those coins as well. I did slap the Storm of the Abyss event onto my artist, and I did a whole video already doing honing and stuff like that on her. So, yeah, I think that's all I really want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what else you guys want to see on my roster, or if there's any other topics we want to talk about. I'll probably do a kind of a different video, and we'll probably see some more raids, and we'll talk about some of my individual character builds on the ones that at least I'm pushing further into endgame. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.